Hey gang, Cheryl Todd here from Gun Freedom Radio. We are at the 2018 SHOT Show in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are so fortunate that we were able to almost literally tackle to get him to sit still for a few minutes to talk to us. We have Larry Zanoff of Hollywood Weapons and the ISS Studios here with us today to talk to us a little bit about Hollywood Weapons on the Outdoor Channel. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you both for having me here. I really appreciate it. Hollywood Weapons has been just an amazing ride from the very beginning. I know that there's a lot of viewers out there. They've written in a lot of comments to Outdoor Channel, and it's extremely humbling to have people, send in compliments and suggestions and stuff like that. Hopefully, we're giving you people what you want to see. And season 2 starts, in February, February 24th, I think it is. And if I do say so myself, it will blow season 1 out of the water. It's a really, really great show. Outdoor Channel has done a wonderful job at it, and I hope everybody out there who's in the viewing audience enjoys it.
Well, it's so much fun. We were able to see a couple of episodes. I think it's from season 2. One was the Rambo.
Okay.
And
that was actually season 1.
Was that season 1?
Season 2 doesn't start airing until February 24th.
Okay, I thought they gave me some sneak peeks because they sent me over a couple of files. But
yeah.
So the Rambo one, that wig that Terry
Wasn't
was
that
wearing.
Something?
Holy cow, that thing! I think it scurried away when he set it down.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And the Die Hard one.
That was a good episode.
And that was season 1 also.
That was also season 1. Yeah, no new episodes have aired yet from season 2.
Okay.
They'll be coming out in February.
But it's so fun because it is a kind of a cross between Mythbusters.
Yep.
And like this fun buddy comedy routine that you guys do. You get to play the adult in the room, right?
Well, I think one of the keys to the success of the show is the fact that we're not playing at it.
Yes.
I'm no actor, believe me. So I mean, what you see is me on television, and of course I do this for a living on film productions, television productions, usually behind the camera. But in this particular case, we're in front of the camera, and we have a lot of fun at it.
Yes.
But it's a serious show. It is like
Yes.
Mythbusters, and the humor part of it, interestingly enough, just came about like by mistake almost. If you watch the pilot episode of the show, how should I put it? It's boring. Okay, it is the most boring episode of the season. It was very, very dry, very mechanical. It was very documentary-like and everything, and just me and Terry just clicked. We have some common background and everything. When they flew Terry in the first time to meet me, they just kind of sent the two of us off on our own, and we kind of came out of it. And there's some humor. We rag on each other all the time and everything. And he plays the nasty little child, and he calls me the adult in the room and everything.
He's real good at that.
He's very good at that. I have some white hairs here, by the way, from that. But it came about. It was weird how the dynamic developed, and it's very natural. There's really no acting going on. He likes to play a part and everything,
Sure.
but
But
what
it's
you
very
see,
much with a wink and a nod, like
absolutely,
he's
absolutely,
playing it up and living it up.
And that's, I think, the magic of the show. There is a script that we have a storyline that we're trying to tell a specific story, but we're not nailed down to it. Dan Rand, who is both the writer and one of the originators of the series, he gives us a whole lot of latitude, which is a very rare thing. He's very happy to adapt the script to what we want to do. For me, that's great because as someone, like I said, who's not an actor, I find it very hard to read lines that are not something that I would naturally say.
Right.
It's like I can't get that take right. I'm just not going to say that. I'm going to say this. And if you had a writer who was like, you are going to say this. It's like the show just wouldn't have the magic that it has. So we're all very fortunate that it's worked out this way.
Well, I like the way how safe it is. I mean, you're teaching the viewers how to be safe with stuff.
So, for me, again, currently and for the last 19 years, I think now, I work in Hollywood as an on-set armor, what we call. Usually it was behind the scenes and everything. And one of my hopes, and I guess we're succeeding, in Hollywood Weapons is to actually show what happens behind the scenes. people, when they watch Hollywood Weapons, they're going to see how we figure out safety protocols, what we have to go through to get the stuff done. Now, Hollywood Weapons, of course, is a live fire show. There's no blanks involved here. We're not faking anything. We have special effects people on set, but they're not causing any explosions. They're just helping in construction of some of the test platforms that we do. So I feel like this is shining a light on people that are mainly behind the scenes people most of the time, that the viewing audience doesn't think about. But we've actually had that response from a lot of viewers where they're like, wow, I never realized what went into, you know, producing a show or making a show. And you see that in that the tests are usually like just a couple of minutes of the 22-minute episode that we have. Most of it is in the prep. And that's what it is. If you prep things ahead of time and you know what you're doing and you follow all the rules and everything, and of course we always have to be safe. You know, it's not just for the cast but the crew as well, other people that might be around. And I take great pride in the fact that, you know, we're able to do these very challenging tests. I mean, things that most people would look at and go, oh, I can't believe you did that. That's so dangerous, you know. But we've managed to distill it down to, you know, we've gotten as many variables out of the way as we can. We're as safe as we can. And sometimes there's things where I just step on the set and go, no, guys, we're not doing it that way, you know. Well, no, this is, you know, and the one I love is when they go, no, see, you don't understand the shot. No, I understand the shot, you know, and you need to understand we're not going to do it that way, you know. But the key is always to, you know, it's not like just, I'm not going to do that. You know, you got to go, you can't do it that way, but here's an alternative. And we come up with some safe alternative. So I really appreciate that came across and that you mentioned that.
Well, there's so many people out there that think they see something on the movies, they can do it at home.
Yeah.
And I saw a video where a guy took a gun and put it in a bucket of water. He didn't put the whole gun in the water, and when he shot it, the gun blew up.
Yeah.
And so it's good that you educate as you go.
Right, because you didn't understand the science behind
Right.
it. And you guys are so good about describing the science and explaining
try.
it to us
We
without
try.
it being like dull and dry, like you said, because it's this fun thing. And also with the myth bustings, it's not like you're coming in there, you know, trying to debunk the movie or ruin a movie or anything like that. You're really honoring the movie
absolutely.
and the work put into it.
You know, it is not a Mythbusters show in the sense of we want to bust this myth.
Right.
It's a testing show. And I think that's what makes us stand apart from some of the other shows. There are times where we don't succeed. You know, it is
And
what
we
it
get to
is.
see
You know,
that.
and you get to see
And
that.
that's
And
amazing.
the tagline at the end of it is always, you know, guys, you gotta remember, it was just a movie. You know, I mean, it was a movie. It wasn't real. You know, years ago, I worked in the firearms manufacturing industry, and one of our guns was a fairly futuristic-looking gun, and we were lucky enough that it was used in a high-profile science fiction type movie. And the Monday that we came to work after the weekend that the film premiered, the answering machine was full. And it was all these people like, hey man, I saw your gun on the movie, you know, on Friday night and everything. Where can I get those exploding bullets? And I'm like, exploding bullets? What is he talking about? You know, and of course we try to be, you know, supportive of the public that's out there, people who are customers. So we call them back, you know, hey, this is Larry from, you know, whatever. And what exactly are you talking about? Oh, well, I saw the movie, and it's like, yeah, that was a science fiction movie about something that happened in 150 years from now. And there are no exploding bullets for these guns.
Right,
And well, no, I saw it in the movie, and it was punching
Right.
big holes. It's a movie, people. Come on.
Right.
But-
That's called
but
special effects.
it's called
and
special
CGI,
effects.
maybe.
Yeah.
Can I take
Where
a
do I
guess
get
on
one
who
of
that?
those
Can I take a guess
lightsabers?
on who that company was?
I'm not going to say. I
I
don't
think I
mention
know,
names.
though. I
You
think
may
I know what
know.
you
You know.
Ah.
But the cool thing about our show is because we're not faking it,
Yeah.
right? And like you said, we're not debunking the myth. We're actually trying to find out, can you really do that?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and we've had, I think, a little bit of success in that actors from the films that we're testing have wanted to become involved with Hollywood Weapons because they're like, yeah, you know, I played that part and I did this, but it was I was playing the part.
Yeah.
It was make pretend. Could you really do that? And they actually come out and get involved in the show and
So
everything. You'll see a lot more of
fun.
that in season 2. A lot of guest appearances.
So do you say it's very interactive with your audience?
Yes.
And so they are writing in, either asking questions or giving suggestions. So you do use the suggestions that people have
Absolutely.
written in about?
Absolutely. In fact, the premiere episode of season 2 is the straight result of the number of write-ins for a specific
Wow.
film that we got out of season 1. People kept writing in, oh, this is cool, we love the show. Do something from this movie, and we just added everything up. It's like, wow, there's not much to do from that movie, but you know what? This is what the people want to see, so this is what we're going to give them. And we sat down and we thought it through, and we went, you know what? There's actually this, and there's that, and there's the other, and we can put this together, do a couple different tests, and I think you guys are just going to love it. It's really, really cool. Terry does just a phenomenal job of playing all these different quirky parts and everything, and I'm standing there with a ruler slapping him on the waist, and you know.
Oh, it really is a fun ride to
Yeah.
watch each show. So, just quickly about you. Now, your background is not Hollywood,
No.
right? You're not a Hollywood kid. You were a military guy, Israeli military.
Yes.
Right? And then you're a law enforcement guy.
Yep.
And now here you are in front of a camera, trying to keep this, adult child under control and and
I
doing
use the
this-
word adult very loosely there,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah. In air quotes.
Yeah.
What caused that? How did that transition come about?
You know, I usually try to describe that in the best way possible as being in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and the result of a misspent youth. It's one of those things. People have actually asked me that question a couple times here at the show. That transition from behind the camera to in front of the camera. How difficult was that? For me, it wasn't really very, very difficult because, like I said, I'm not acting. I mean,
Right.
this is me. You're asking me questions about something that I think I have some experience in, and I feel confident in my knowledge. And whether I'm in front of the camera or behind the camera or training an actor or helping someone write a script, is like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
The fact that anyone even enjoys watching me do it is just, like I said, just extremely humbling, and I'm so appreciative of that. It is a fun project, so my background, I think, kind of helps the show along. Having been in the military, having worked in law enforcement, I think it helps with the relationship with Terry, and that's one of the reasons why we click. Because, imagine you were me, and you're out on a movie set, and you're the on-set armorer, that's what we call it. And you've got, 37 machine guns out there, and you have to hand them out to actors, stunt people, and they're great people, they're professionals, but they're not gun people, not always. There are a few out there that are very proficient, but most of them are not. And in about 10 minutes down a dark alley behind the prop truck, you need to train them up and make them look like they know what they're doing. That is a very concerning kind of environment to be in. It's a huge responsibility. The armorer and the fire marshal and the stunt coordinator are usually the only 3 people on the set who can actually tell the director no, because the safety's involved.
Exactly.
So it is kind of harrowing, and I always describe it that no matter how many times I do this, I always have butterflies in my stomach, and I'm only happy when we get the shot, nobody got hurt, everything worked, the guns are locked up, and I'm driving away, for the night. And so on this show, one of the reasons that me and Terry clicked is because we have kind of a common background. I'm not going to go as far as to say that I'm comfortable handing Terry a weapon, but
because this is being filmed, and
this
he'll
is
probably
being filmed,
watch
and
it.
but I know he has a certain amount of respect for the firearm, for the
Yes.
safety rules. He's a Green Beret. He's got a huge amount of experience and everything. But you know what? There's guns that he's never even heard of before, and we deal with some of those. So it's like, yeah, he's used to his M4, but he's may never shot a lever action rifle before for a Western scene. And me being able to go up to him, and this happens a lot. I hope it comes across on the show. I come up to him. It's like, okay, everyone knows what they're doing. We got the cameras going. We got the sound guy going. And then just before we do it, it's like me and Terry just walk away. Hey, where are you guys going? And just give us a minute. And we talk through amongst ourselves. He understands what I'm telling him. If I tell him, look, dude, I know you're used to doing it this way. Don't do it that way. With this gun, it's not going to work. He doesn't question. He understands, the direction that we're going in. And that is a comfort to me because this show, of course, is live fire.
Right.
There's no blanks involved here, like on a movie set, and so I'm not going to say that it's comforting, but it allows me to control my tension as far as what we're going to do because we're testing things that, like I said, most people would look at it and go, "Are you out of your mind?
Right.
You did what?
Right.
You
Right,
you
you're shooting
swung him
guns-
through a glass window,
Right? Just
Yeah.
because it looks good on a script doesn't
Yeah.
mean that human beings should actually do it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's incredible. So, you've done all these different movies. I mean, holy cow, I started looking up the list of movies you've been involved in, right? Django Unchained.
Yep.
That was,
Did
That
that,
was a
did that have
special
guns in it?
A few. I had just a few.
Gangster Squad,
Mhm.
Iron Man 2. So you've done some really big movies and lots of explosions, lots of maybe even, pretend guns,
Yep.
right? Fashioned guns, that sort of thing. So, of a set up that you've done, do you have a favorite? Like, this one particular thing is just always going to live in my mind as,
Well, I'll tell you, like I said before, all of them live in my mind fondly when I think about they got done, nobody got hurt, and I was driving away. Everybody was happy, and like that, we got the job done. There are a few standouts. I have to admit that working with Quentin Tarantino was an experience. He's an incredibly gifted director, and there's truly a different vibe on set when you step onto a movie set that he is directing. So that was extremely special. I did get the opportunity to work on an Ang Lee movie where we wound up in Morocco for 29 days in the middle of the Sahara Desert,
Oh, wow.
reenacting like an Iraqi desert battle that was going on. And just the opportunity to travel, meet these other people from different countries, the cultures that you get exposed to. Obviously, working with someone as talented as Ang Lee, that kind of stands out. But I really think the thing that overall keeps me in this business, but besides my mortgage and the fact that I have 2 kids that I got to put through college,
Yeah, there's that, right?
is because, like you said, I don't see myself as a Hollywood guy. I'm not from the film industry. I have no history or family history like a lot of other people do. But the amount of creative people, the amount of creative talent that is available in Hollywood is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I have a difficulty watching films that I worked on. You
Yeah.
you wind up, you're a little too close to it.
Sure.
You see that, that was that 18-hour night, and I knew that wasn't going to look good, but they didn't want to listen to me, stuff like that. Of course, the audience never sees that. And when my children were younger, they, of course, always wanted to go see the movie that Dad worked on because I missed their birthday, I missed an anniversary, I missed some musical performance that they did. And so when I finally get home, they want to see what we worked on. So I'm being drugged to the movie, to a movie that I don't want to see,
Right. You sit there like this
and I'm
the whole
sitting there.
time.
And I actually came to appreciate the fact that I enjoyed watching the audience watching the movie. And, they
Nice.
laugh, they cry, they clap, they throw popcorn at the screen and stuff like that. And to be able to be part of a creative effort like that where they don't even know that you're in the audience, they don't even know that you worked on the film, but to be able to walk out of there and go, you know what, I had a little part to do in that person's happiness. Who knows what's happening with that person? They're going through a divorce, their house just burnt down in a fire in
Right.
California, they're running away to the movies to escape for 2 hours, and somehow you put a smile on their face. And to think that I had even just even that much of a part in doing that, I think is just an amazing thing that Hollywood does. It's an American kind of cultural art form. We need to keep it here in America. We need to grow the business and everything like that. And I'm just extremely privileged to be part of it.
Wow, that's an incredible answer.
I'm trying to do this for a living, so I try to come up with those answers
Yes,
like that
well done.
that answer the
Well
questions.
done. It didn't
yeah.
even sound rehearsed.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that was coming across.
It was brilliant. Is there the white whale still out there for you? Like this one setup that I just can't wait to do, or
That's a real difficult question to answer. I don't know if there's one particular thing. I do know that when I watch a film that I haven't worked on, I watch it now from someone who's used to making or helping make films. So I'll sit there and I'll watch some foreign film, maybe filmed in France, some action adventure thing, and I'll be going, how did they film that? How did that look on set? I mean, because they were shooting right into the camera, and I didn't notice, a Lexan barrier or something like that. So I look at it from a professional point of view, and that's very interesting. And of course, there's films out there like Heat, Michael Mann's Heat with Robert De Niro and everything. These are iconic films, and I don't know that there's one specific one, but it's like, I would like to think that someday I'd be involved in a project that is remembered as fondly as Heat is remembered,
That's
because
cool.
that became iconic and everything. When you look at films like Django Unchained or all the Marvel movies that I've had the privilege to work on, I mean, I grew up as a kid reading all these Marvel comic books, and to think that,
part of it.
well, I mean, very small part, but somehow to see those characters come alive out of the comic book pages and actually walk onto the screen and everything, and to be part of that effort, even if it's in the smallest way, I think is just pretty cool.
Do you kind of geek out a little bit? Because I think I would geek out
I'm
big time.
not a geek. I am king of the geeks.
Okay,
I
you were scaring me for a minute.
I mean, when it comes to comic books and popular culture, I'm a huge history buff. The firearms, of course, are a big thing. So yeah, I mean, it's just amazing and like I said, very humbling to even be asked. Like the fact that you two are even asking me to be on the show and
I love it.
care about my opinion is just really unique.
Thank you. Do you have a favorite gun?
I work with all kinds of guns. At Independent Studio Services, our motto is from rocks to rockets.
Oh.
So we have that and everything in between. People tend to get excited. People who are not, handy with guns or have access to these guns, they always seem to get excited about fully automatic gunfire. I mean, I've been in the military, I've been in conflicts, I've been in law enforcement situations. Full auto doesn't mean anything to me. It's like one gun's like another.
It's like the holy grail for the average Joe.
Yeah,
though.
it is.
Nobody gets to play with that.
To me, the oddball things are more interesting. Like, hand me a Japanese matchlock from like the 1500s, and that's more unique and more challenging to me than an M4. It's like, yeah, it's a cool M4, but I've seen a million of them, and here you look at this, maybe a Kentucky long rifle that, there were only 3 of those made by this one gunsmith or
Right.
something. I think those are a little bit more of what speaks to me.
That's
But I don't think I have a favorite. I have certain ones that I wind up working with a lot. M134 miniguns, the spinning barrel.
That's
things,
my next project.
yeah, those are very challenging firearms, and there's not a lot of people that are qualified out there to really run them correctly. And so every time we send them out, I kind of wind up going out and being the guy responsible for that. So I wind up in helicopters or on speedboats or something like that.
Poor thing.
It's a tough job, but someone has to do it, And the thing to remember too is, these are real guns that we're using for film purposes, but they're real guns that we've converted to shoot blanks. The what I mean when I say real guns, it's legally a real firearm. And so I have a license, ISS has the license to maintain and run these guns. Somebody else on the film set doesn't have those licenses. And since I need to abide by all the laws and all the rules and regulations, that means that I cannot put that gun on a helicopter and have the helicopter fly away to film the scene.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, when you're watching a film and you see a guy shooting out of a helicopter and all you see is the back of his head, it's kind of an over the shoulder shot. That's the on-set armor that they threw into wardrobe because he's got to be there. There's no place for him to hide in this little
Right.
4-man helicopter.
Right.
And so you do wind up, of course I was in helicopters in the military and stuff like that, but I mean, those things are kind of cool, oh, we're going to set this thing up, it's going to be up on the top of the conning tower of that aircraft carrier. I'm on an aircraft carrier,
Seriously.
And I mean, it's cool stuff, again, opportunities that we get in the film industry that I mean, not everybody gets to do it, but hopefully we bring that kind of experience to the viewing public.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the
Oh,
time
it's
to
my
be
pleasure.
here with
Thank
us
you
today.
so much for having me.
Larry
Very fun.
Zanoff
Appreciate
of
it.
Hollywood Weapons on the Outdoor Channel, season 2.
Season 2, February 24th. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know you will. Please watch it.
Already signed for season 3.
We have a renewal for season 3, but even more important than season 3 is we really want to hear your comments. We want everyone out there to write in both the things that you like and the things that you don't like, and we hopefully will satisfy your requests.
Fantastic. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
That
it.
is awesome.